Hey, what's up? MACROLEV here, and I'm back with another track breakdown. This is a track called Hungry Girls. I've released it as a free download since it had a quite massive sample, and I just decided to give it away for free. So starting with the kick, same kick as pretty much always. Works for me, so yeah. Bassline. Bassline is very simple. Basically, I took operator. I can probably recreate it now. Operator out, operator, drop it in. You go on the oscillator and you just add harmonics onto a sound. That's it. That's the bass line. It's very simple. So as you can see, I've turned the sine wave more into sort of like a sawtooth processing, cut off all the low end, all the high end that I don't need. And my favorite saturation. Sidechain, and then this crazy EQ. Basically, I just cut out whatever I didn't need, whatever I didn't felt like, and then I just boosted fundamental sort of notes that I really wanted to punch through without it. Big difference there depending on where you're listening. So that's for the low end of the spectrum. Then obviously I had this huge sample. That goes like this, and no processing whatsoever on this apart from a little bit of EQ and some filtering, which only happens in a main breakdown. Yeah, just using waves. One knob filter, really cool filter in my opinion, very easy to use. As you can see, it's only one knob. So that sample was basically the whole song starter for me. Then I went and added bits like, then a little drum sort of preset I found on the downbeat. Then I chopped up the main theme. So just a little cut on the low end and one knob filtering again to come in on the intro. Then the next synth I added was this ketchup. I found the original notes that's been played on the original sample, and I just copied whatever been played there. Which was that. Then I've added another synth, which is quite cool. I found this preset. This is actually a sequence. So originally it would play a different note on the sequence that's been programmed with this LFO attached to a pitch. So as you can see here on the matrix. And then this thing, I'm not sure where it came from, but this is playing throughout the whole track, as you can see. And it just goes like this. In terms of processing, not much going on. This thing is adding a bit of noise to the sound. As without it. It's really low in the mix, but it adds some extra texture. Then I have no idea why I've got two EQs going on, but obviously there was a reason to do that. Oh yeah, after the RC20, that noise comes in with some like low end rumble, so which I've just removed. Originally this plays different sort of groove, but I've moved loop start point to the very end, so it's kind of offset by 1/38 of a note. So with the drums, this whole thing basically adds a groove to the drum, extra kind of groove. If you remove it, it just adds texture. And if you move this like it was on the original sample, I'm not even sure if that's a sample. Maybe I've resampled this from this same track, and I've no idea, to be honest. Can't tell by the name. See, it sounds awful. Way better. So yeah, this just adds a bit of texture. Let's move on to the drums. Clap. My favorites here on clap. If you want your shit to punch, just slap a bass drum on top and crank up to transient. Yeah, don't tell anyone, it's a secret, okay? So then a different hi-hat on the offbeat. Some white noise to add that movement. Open hi-hat. Another open hi-hat. Shaker. Closed hi-hat. Rims. 909 rim. With some shaping on the volume, so it kind of goes up and down. More rims. Percussion. More sort of knocks and claps and whatnot. Bongo. Smoke alarm sound. Some rides. Notice if I solo only like small percussions. That's the stuff that adds the groove. That's that. Then my favorite 909 snare. Just before the end of the phrase. Some more rare percussion hits here and there. So 2 crashes, 1 reversed, 1 normal. Very simple, only 4 layers for effects. And there you have it, that's the track. Very simple track. One thing I like to do is use different reverbs for different groups of elements to group them as a whole, as well as put them in a different environment. So for my drums, I tend to use short reverb, which is, in this case is Valhalla Room, and then I also use overdrive to drive a little bit, but only like tiny amount, 5% dry wet. Then a little bit of EQ, cut low end and high end, and I add a little bit of the reverb onto each of the channel that requires it, as you can see here. So without it, very dry, and then with it, obviously it's got some space. And then mid frequencies. Slightly longer reverb, same preset, but it's just twice as long on the decay, pretty much the same processing. And I add onto a whole group rather than on individual sounds. Plus, additionally, whenever requires, I add a little bit more of a short reverb. On the breakdown, I've got this big reverb from FabFilter, processing a whole mix. To kind of spread it and add a little bit of tension. On the mastering side of things, first thing is EQ, just cut below 30 Hz and above 20k. Then my trusty UAD Pultec EQ, just dipping down a little bit of 300 Hz mud. Minus 3 dB, I do it all the time. Before the drop on the breakdown, it kind of gradually drops down 3 dB, and then before the drops goes back to 0. So that's what this is doing. Makes the drop more significant. Then the last thing in the chain is maximizer. Cranking the juice out of the mix. So, and that's it. That's the track. Very simple. It's just correct sounds in the correct order. Alright, hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day, or night, or morning. Be safe. Don't stress. I'm out.